Mr. Sadiq, Prashant Bhushan, an important member of the Aam Aadmi Party, making a controversial statement saying that if the people of the valley want so, the army should be removed. How do you see that statement, sir?
Well, nobody can stop Prashant Bhushan from saying what he wants to say. It's a democracy and he has all the right to do so. But I feel he has forgotten that there is an elected government in Jammu and Kashmir.
Yeah.
And that government, in its own way, has asked for revocation of AFSPA. So I don't know why he is trying to create a controversy when an issue like AFSPA is a sensitive issue which is being discussed between the state government and the centre.
Absolutely.
Now, I don't see anything except for it to be something to politicize a matter. And that would be the first thing we would want right now.
Your Chief Minister Omar Abdullah has been very vocal about AFSPA as far as that is concerned. The PDP leader, Mr. Kaul, that we were speaking to just a while earlier, welcomed almost this statement. How do you see that, sir? Do you see the politics now being played as far as the deployment of the army is concerned in the valley?
Well, with regard to army, we have never tried to politicize the Armed Force Special Powers Act. When we have asked for the revocation, we have based our argument on ground situation and the peace that prevails in the valley. Now, there are some stakeholders who have their own point of view.
Yeah.
And while we respect that, we have a very stronger point of view that we, from various agencies, feel that there are certain areas where the army does not have a role to play. And I don't feel, and we don't feel, that such a law is needed at that. So it is purely based on ground situation. Whereas these people who are talking about AFSPA right now are merely, politicizing the whole matter and making it even worse.
Absolutely. Stay with us, Mr. Sadiq. We also have Lieutenant General retired G.D. Bakshi joining us on the network now. General Bakshi, Prashant Bhushan of the Aam Aadmi Party making that statement that if the people of the valley want the army to be moved out of the villages and the cities, then it should be done so. What are your views on that, sir? Politics being played as far as the army is concerned?
I hope Mr. Prashant Bhushan is aware of the fact that next year the American forces are going to withdraw from Afghanistan. Pakistan is going to go in for endgame, and they are most likely to divert all their surplus Taliban and Lashkar cadres towards Jammu and Kashmir and the rest of India.
Yeah.
This amounts to opening the gates for the Huns. We have been asking the Aam Aadmi Party, for God's sake, clarify your stand on issues of national security.
Yeah.
And we have now gotten it from the platter for us. This is anti-national view, I'm sorry to state. I hope he realizes that our convoys move through the depth areas of Jammu and Kashmir, through Srinagar, for the stocking of Leh and Ladakh and Kargil. Will that be left open to attack by the terrorists did last summer when they killed 8 of our army jawans?
General Bakshi, do you think that Aam Aadmi Party, being a very new party, is trying to utilize this issue for some petty gains?
Petty gains? This is the breakup. This is the first step towards trying to break up this country. You start this in J&K first. Tomorrow you will take it to Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram. What have you? What are you trying to do?
Yeah.
I mean, now we understand the foreign funding of this party and whose agenda they are playing for. I'm very sorry to state there are questions being asked about the Ford Foundation funding this party.
Yeah.
Now almost 50% of their funds have come from NRIs.
Yeah.
And our suspicions, I'm very sorry to say, are quite present when we hear anti-national views like this. Before the main attack, you throw open the gate. You remove the army so that next year the Pakistanis are facilitated in taking over Jammu and Kashmir.
General Bakshi, stay with us. Let us just once again play that the bite of Prashant Bhushan, in which he said that a referendum should be done as far as the deployment of army is concerned in Jammu and Kashmir.
Are you okay with the idea of there being a referendum like the SMS poll referendum that we saw in Delhi for people of Kashmir to decide whether or not the army should be deployed in the towns and villages of Jammu and Kashmir, sir?
In my view, if the army is, so far as the deployment of the army is concerned for external defense, that can certainly be deployed by the central government without taking into account the wishes of the people of Kashmir. But if the deployment, to the extent that the deployment of the army is for the internal security of just the people of Kashmir, then in my view it should not be done, not normally be done, without the consent of the local people of Kashmir.
So if the referendum says that they don't want the army in the towns and villages of Kashmir, you will then ask for the army to be withdrawn from the towns and villages because the people of Kashmir don't want the army there.
Correct. If there is no problem of minority protection which is involved, of protection of the minorities there, if there is no...
So if the referendum says that the army must be withdrawn from the towns and villages of Kashmir, you in the Aam Aadmi Party would then say that the army be removed from there.
In my view...
What if Kashmir burns after that?
In my
Who
view,
will take responsibility?
No, why should Kashmir burn as a result of that? If there is, as I said, if there is a minority-majority problem there, then certainly the army can be deployed by the central government.
No, what if
for
in this referendum people also say, Prashant Bhushan, that they don't want to be a part of India then? What if in this referendum the people of Kashmir say they don't want to be part of India?
That is a separate issue because...
No, but you've raised this issue in the past.
That is against the constitution. And let me now clarify. What I had said earlier was that look, if this alienation continues, because if alienation becomes very severe, then it leads to violence and civil war. And many countries have been partitioned on the basis of this kind of alienation and civil war. I had said that if it comes to that kind of situation, then it might be better for us to have a plebiscite and allow the people to, if they want to separate, allow them to...
Do you still hold that view?
No, I don't hold that view.